Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. If you are passionate about the technology and AI, you are at the right place. Today we are diving into a critical topic or crucial topic, that is the safeguarding confidential data while integrating AI into the client systems. Let's get started. So, when integrating AI into the client system, safeguarding the confidential data is a paramount. Okay. Today, we will cover essential strategies to ensure data security and we develop or build client trust. Okay. So, we will be talking about the essential strategies, how we can safeguard the client data while we integrate AI systems, right? So, the first strategy is the data encryption. So as you know, the encryption is a fundamental method for protecting the confidential data, right? So in this technique, the information is converted into the code, and by converting into the code, we are preventing the unauthorized access. So encryption ensures that even data is intercepted, it remains unreadable to anyone without the decryption keys. So if a user or some person wants to access that encrypted data, they need to have encryption keys to decrypt it and read that data. Okay. So when integrating AI into the client systems, ensure that all data is encrypted at rest and in the transit, right? And also use the robust encryption standards like AES, which is the advanced encryption standard, to ensure your data is secure effectively. Okay. Also, regularly update the cryptographic keys and employ secure key managements to enhance security further. Okay. The second thing is, or the second strategy is the access control. Okay. So, implementing a strict access control is essential for safeguarding the confidential data and within the AI system, right? So we need to safeguard the confidential data within the AI system, right? So for this, we need to define clear user roles and grant data access based on the principles of the least privileges. By this, we mean that a user will only get a minimum level of access necessary to perform their jobs. Okay. So teams basically utilize the authentication mechanisms as a multi-factor authentication to verify user identities, right? They regularly review the access rights and adjust them necessarily as and when needed. Also, when users change roles or leave organizations, okay, so these roles are being audited and are being checked, so that they prevent the unauthorized access to the sensitive information, right? The second technique or second strategy is the anonymization technique. Okay, so in this, when an AI system or AI systems are used for data analysis, right, like consider using the anonymization techniques to prevent the individual privacy. So anonymization involves the stripping away the personally identified information from the data sets, okay, which basically makes difficult to trace data back to the individual users. Okay, so techniques such as data masking, right, journalization can be employed to make sure your data critical information is stripped off. Okay, however, it is important to note that anonymized data can sometimes or may be re-identified. Okay, so combine these techniques or use some permutations and combinations to make sure your data is secure, and you implement the right security measures or things to have a robust data protection using this technique. Okay, now moving to the fourth point. So the fourth point is the regular audits. Okay, so organization and team should conduct the regular audits in a proactive way to ensure that confidential data remains secure when using the AI systems. Auditing basically helps to identify the potential vulnerabilities and assess whether the data protection measures are effective or not, right? This needs audits from both internal and external, right? So the organization needs to perform both internal and external audits regularly. They keep on checking the compliance is up to mark, and the compliance with the data protection regulations and the internal policies are being adhered by the teams and the organization. It can be the vendors, it can be the internal employees, it can be the external teams as well and whatnot. Okay, so use the findings to address any issues promptly and refine your security strategies continuously. Okay, so this is a continuous improvement kind of thing. You kept continuously need to audit and make sure that your data is secured, there is no vulnerabilities, okay, there are no breaches around the data, right? And also your system is encrypted end to end, right? And it's a kind of a joint effort from the users as well and from the security as well. So just to make sure that your data is secure and you are not letting the hackers or the third party users, or the users, I mean to say the unauthorized users, to access your data, okay, without the right access. Now the fifth point is the ethics policies. Okay, so now in the ethics policies, basically what teams are doing is like they are developing and adhering to the AI ethics policies. Okay, that is very vital for maintaining the integrity of the client data, right? So these policies should outline responsible AI uses. Okay, so there should be a policies defined, and it should tell us the users that like, hey, these are the guidelines, these are the right policies which are basically meant for using the AI responsibly, right? And it also emphasizes on the data security and the privacy. Okay, so they should also include the guidelines for the transparency in the AI decision making process and accountability in case of data misuse. Okay, so I think this is very much clear, right? These are processes, protocols, rules, and the guidelines which basically are being created to make sure like anybody who is using AI, they are using very responsibly. They have very the things are very much outlined, like who is the accountable if something goes wrong, who is accountable for securing data, who is accountable for performing the certain task, who is accountable for bringing the transparency, okay, who is accountable for like making sure like your AI systems are working fine, your data is secure, okay, so and whatnot. So all these things comes under the ethics policies. Okay, so by establishing these policies, you not only, or the organization not only protect the confidential data, but it also builds the trust with the clients and the customers, right? So if customer is having trust, okay, he is confident on organization, on your team, that like, hey, they have a proper systems in place, they have proper guidelines in place, right? And it will not allow their data or sensitive data to be breached, okay, or to be accessed by the unauthorized users. That will basically give the confidence, it will increase your market reputation as well, right? And resulting in the revenue generation or the business expansion. Okay, now moving to the sixth point, you're securing your organization with the AI training. Okay, so now the training phase of AI development is particularly sensitive, right? Since AI models often requires access to the large volume of data. Okay, to safeguard the confidential data during this stage, use secure environments and techniques like the federated learnings. Okay, where the model is trained across the multiple decentralized devices or servers holding the local data samples, right? So by this way, the actual data does not need to leave its original location, significantly reducing the risk of the data breaches. Additionally, it monitors the training process to detect any unauthorized attempts to access the sensitive information. Okay, so this is more like of kind of a training part, like how you can train the people and how they can learn to use the your AI tools, or like make sure the data is been intact, it's been encrypted, okay, it's not breaching any process or the guidelines which are being outlined, right? Okay, So now, lastly, let's discuss about some additional considerations. Okay, so it depends upon companies to companies, or organization to organization, or teams to team. Like what can be additional, considerations, or the points, or the strategies, or the techniques teams can use. Okay, so from my point of view or thought process, like data governance is one of them. Okay, so teams or organizations should implement a robust data governance framework to manage data quality, security, and the life cycle, right? So the data engineering teams, or the ML teams, or the AI team, they should work together. Okay, they should have a center of excellence, so that they can make sure that you have a robust framework which basically ensures your data quality is good, your data security is good, and you have a right lifecycle management for your data, right? Second thing which I would suggest is to have employee training. Okay, so you need to regularly train your employees on the data security and its best practices, and make them understand what is the importance of protecting the confidential data. Okay, how it can impact the business, how it can impact the day-to-day life. Okay, I mean day-to-day life, I mean to say the corporate, the working life, right? It's not like the personal life. Okay, even in the personal, if you talk about like they should, if they are aware of like what is the importance of securing your data, that can help us in like safeguarding their personal information as well, while they use this social media apps, gaming apps. Okay, there are new AI applications coming around. So just to be aware of how you can safeguard your personal information. Then is to have a incident response plan. Okay, so the team should develop and maintain incident response plan to quickly address and mitigate the data breaches or the security incidents, right? So this is also very critical to have in place. Then the fourth point is like the third party vendor management, right? So teams should ensure that third vendor or third party vendors, so the external vendor, should comply with the same data protections standards, and regularly audit their practices as well. And these audits are being shared with you, so that you can make sure that they are also adhering to the right practices, the compliance which you have been outlined, okay, and your company has outlined. Okay, so yeah, so these are the some strategies, techniques, which basically make sure like how you can safeguard your confidential data while you integrate with the your AI systems, right? So that's the wrap up of how you can safeguard the confidential data while integrating AI into client systems. Okay, and protecting the sensitive information is not just a requirement, but it is a responsibility. Okay, and all teams, all companies, all organizations should focus on it or emphasize on it. Okay, so yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon button for more tech insights and the updates. See you next time. Bye.